Every day we use things without even thinking about how they are made. The tires on our cars, the glass in windows, toothpaste, food. Behind all of this are incredible manufacturing processes that are more like magic. Fiery rivers of molten metal, machines weaving ropes, lasers cutting microchips. All of this looks so mesmerizing that it's impossible to look away. Ready to see the craziest and most spectacular productions that you'll remember forever. Giant furnaces roaring like dragons spew streams of liquid metal with temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Fiery rivers flow through channels, and workers, like modern-day alchemists, guide this blazing stream into massive molds. The most spectacular moment is when an avalanche of molten iron emerges from the furnace, resembling a Rio volcano. Sparks fly in all directions, creating a hypnotic spectacle. Special machines continuously move tons of metal, transforming the chaos of fire into perfect steel billets. Imagine how from the finest streams of molten sand emerges a transparent material that we use every day. Glass production is magic frozen in motion. Ribbons of liquid glass stretch along the conveyor like molten caramel, then solidify into perfectly even panels, without a single bubble. It's a special pleasure to watch the blowing of glass products, as craftsmen shape goblets and vases from the molten substance. Streams of gas give them the desired shape, and sudden cooling makes the glass hard but brittle. How are car tires made? The most impressive part of the process is the tread molding. Huge stamps with a force of tens of tons press into the hot rubber, leaving characteristic patterns on it. Then vulcanization begins. The tires are heated to a temperature of about 400 degrees Fahrenheit so that the rubber becomes strong and elastic. Chambers with scorching air bake each tire as if in a giant oven. Conveyors transport thousands of products per hour, turning huge chunks of raw rubber into perfect engineering masterpieces. When you pick up an aerosol can, you probably don't think about how spectacular the process of its creation was. On the production line, metal cylinders fly down the conveyor at lightning speed until powerful presses stamp them into the familiar shape. Then the most interesting part happens. The gas-filled cans go through fiery tests. They are heated. They are tested for strength, and then coated with a special paint applied with millimeter precision. The final stage is labeling and packaging, after which millions of cans are sent to stores. The production of giant springs is a true art of metalworking. Huge steel rods are heated until they are red hot, and then wound onto special shafts, forming spirals of incredible size. Machines bend the metal as if it were soft wire, and then the hardening process begins. The springs are cooled in oil or water, becoming incredibly strong. The most mesmerizing moment is the testing, when the springs are compressed with immense force but then instantly return to their original shape. How are huge tunnels and skyscrapers cleaned? The answer is with the help of powerful industrial machines that look like fantastic robots. Huge rotating brushes easily clean the tunnel walls, sweeping away dirt and soot accumulated over the years. Special drones and robotic platforms sprayed the facades of skyscrapers with powerful jets of water, wiping away dust as if with an invisible hand. It looks especially impressive at night when the clean walls sparkle in the headlights of the tunnel machines, and the water scatters in different directions, creating a mist effect. Industrial 3D printers have already learned to print entire buildings, car parts, and even jet engines. Giant manipulators slowly apply layer by layer of liquid metal or plastic, creating the most complex shapes that would be impossible to manufacture using traditional methods. The process of printing metal parts looks especially mesmerizing. Lasers heat the powder, turning it into a solid structure. As a result, before our eyes, the most complex mechanisms are born from nothingness, fully ready to work. How can you break thousands of eggs in seconds without leaving a single piece of shell? Special machines are installed in factories that crack the eggs in one motion, separating the white from the yolk with millimeter precision. Huge tanks are filled with liquid egg, ready for use in the culinary industry. What is especially astonishing is how the shell is instantly removed. Special vacuum mechanisms literally suck it out, leaving a perfectly clean product. The production of lollipops is a whole spectacle. Molten sugar is slowly poured onto tables and turns into a thick, sticky mass that shimmers with all the colors of the rainbow. Then huge machines roll it into long strands, which are cut into perfectly even pieces. The most thrilling moment is the final molding, when the candies are compressed into familiar shapes. Huge lines produce thousands of lollipops per hour, and the colorful patterns inside each candy are assembled with surgical precision. The production of lavash is a mesmerizing sight, especially when the hot flatbreads literally float in the air. In factories, the dough is rolled out thinly by huge rollers, and then sent onto fast conveyors where it passes through fiery ovens. Pita puffs up, turning into a golden bubble, and then instantly settles, taking on its familiar shape. It's a particular pleasure to watch as the conveyors fold the finished flatbreads with jewel-like precision, like a card magician. Instant noodle production lines are a true marvel of engineering. Thin strips of dough are stretched and cut at lightning speed, then instantly fried in boiling oil. In just a few seconds, they become airy and crispy. The conveyors divide the portions into perfect squares, then pack them into familiar plastic containers. The most impressive part is the addition of spices. Machines sprinkle the powder and dried vegetables with millimeter precision, creating a flavor known to millions. Have you ever wondered how the perfect colored stripes are created in a tube of toothpaste? Production lines fill the packages with several types of paste simultaneously, creating a recognizable pattern. The thick mass is squeezed through special nozzles and then sealed at high speed into metal tubes. It's a special pleasure to watch as machines frantically test the packaging, pressing on it to ensure not a single drop leaks out. The production of peanut butter is a process that looks like creating liquid gold. Hundreds of pounds of nuts are roasted in giant drums until they become perfectly crispy. Then they are sent to powerful grinders that turn them into a thick, smooth mass. The most impressive moment is the instant packaging. The paste literally pours into jars like caramel and is then instantly sealed with lids. Machines weaving ultra-strong ropes work like giant spiders. Huge spools of fibers unwind and begin to intertwine into perfectly even threads. Complex mechanisms stretch and twist the ropes with incredible force, creating cables capable of withstanding hundreds of tons of load. The most spectacular moment is the final test, when the ropes are subjected to colossal tension to ensure they won't break. Have you ever noticed how apples in the store look like they've just been polished? This is thanks to special treatment: wax. The fruits are sent onto a conveyor, where powerful brushes clean them of dirt, and then a thin layer of natural wax is applied to the surface. This not only gives the apples a glossy shine, but also protects them from drying out. The most mesmerizing part is the final polishing. The apples race along the conveyor, spinning under the brushes until their skin becomes perfectly smooth. The process of treating carrots is a true spectacle, combining speed and precision. Huge streams. Carrots are loaded into special machines where they are instantly peeled using powerful water jets and rotating brushes. Then lasers scan each root vegetable, instantly rejecting those that do not meet the standard. The most interesting stage is the slicing. Carrots are cut at a frenzied speed into perfectly even pieces, ready for packaging. Have you ever wondered how perfect patterns are created on carpets? Modern factories use giant machines that literally draw patterns with threads. Thousands of needles work in sync instantly, weaving intricate patterns into the fabric. The most hypnotic part is the moment when huge rolls of patterned carpets are unrolled and passed through an automatic cutting system, turning into neat carpet coverings. Automated dish painting is a true art, but executed with machine precision. Robotic arms move with jeweler-like precision, spraying paint and applying intricate patterns on plates and cups. One of the most astonishing moments. Working with gilding. The thinnest layers of metallic coating instantly adhere to the ceramics, turning ordinary dishes into works of art. Before the car receives its final color, its body goes through an acid etching process. Giant mechanized manipulators immerse the metal bodies into huge tanks with chemical compounds that remove any contaminants and prepare the surface, to the body, to the painting. It looks as if the cars disappear into a thick fog and then reappear perfectly clean and ready for the application of a protective coating. How containers of various shapes are made from ordinary plastic granules. On the production lines, it looks like magic. Small plastic pellets are heated and turned into a thick mass, which is then blown with powerful air inside metal molds. In a matter of seconds, a bottle or container appears out of nowhere, and robotic arms instantly trim the excess plastic, giving the product a perfect shape. The most impressive moment is when hundreds of such containers simultaneously move along the conveyor, transforming into familiar packaging. How does delicate crab meat end up in cans? The impressive process begins with automated cleaning. Huge machines extract the meat from the shells with surgical precision, separating each fibrous part. Then the crab meat is instantly weighed and packed into cans, where it is preserved in a rich broth. One of the most astonishing moments. The final quality control, when the cans undergo X-ray scanning to ensure that no pieces of shell remain. Chip manufacturing is one of the most complex processes in the world and at the same time one of the most mesmerizing. In sterile laboratories under powerful microscopes, crystals are grown from pure silicon, which are then cut into ultra-thin wafers. A very thin layer of gold and other metals is applied to them, turning them into the foundation for processors and memory. The most impressive stage is photolithography, where lasers literally carve on the surface of the chips. Microscopic circuits, visible only under powerful magnification. How are bulletproof glasses made, capable of withstanding a shot from a firearm? The impressive process begins with multi-layer bonding, where thin sheets of glass alternate with transparent polymer films, creating a cushioning effect. Then the finished panels are sent to special furnaces, where they are heated to several hundred degrees and instantly cooled, which is the most mesmerizing part. The final tests, where the glass is shot at with a rifle or struck with a heavy hammer, yet it remains intact. CNC machines with numerical control are capable of cutting metal or wood. Incredibly complex parts with precision up to thousandths of an inch. Huge blades and drills spin at a furious speed, transforming a piece of material into a work of engineering art. The process of 5-axis machining is particularly mesmerizing, where the cutter moves in multiple planes at once, creating complex shapes that are impossible to make by hand. Laser technologies have long since entered the manufacturing sphere, but one of the most exciting processes is laser cutting of metal. Imagine a powerful beam capable of cutting through thick steel sheets with surgical precision, creating the most complex parts for cars, airplanes, and even spacecraft. The beam of light moves at lightning speed, and the metal literally vaporizes, leaving perfectly smooth edges behind. It's especially mesmerizing when the laser cuts intricate patterns into thin sheets of metal. It seems as if an invisible hand is drawing masterpieces on it. Wooden lace production, plywood, and wood panels. It's not just sawing and gluing. It's a true art of transforming wood. Giant machines with razor-sharp precision slice the thinnest layers of wood, turning them into flexible strips, resembling rolled-up wallpaper. Then these strips are impregnated with special resins, pressed under incredible pressure and high temperature, turning into super strong panels. The most exciting part is the laser engraving, when machines burn intricate patterns onto the surface, transforming ordinary wooden sheets into designer interior elements. How huge trucks, trains, and ships are made. In factories where the assembly of heavy machinery turns into a grand spectacle. Huge cranes lift multi-ton parts, moving them with precision akin to jewelry making. Robotic welding machines join together giant pieces of metal. Sparks fly in all directions, creating a fireworks effect. The final assembly is particularly spectacular, when the huge machines come to life for the first time. Their engines roar, and the mechanisms start moving, like giants awakening. How do the invisible forces work that keep magnetic trains suspended in the air? The production of magnetic rails is one of the most fascinating engineering marvels. Huge magnetic plates are laid out with incredible precision and then undergo special treatment to enhance their properties. As a result, the trains, seemingly floating above the ground, glide along these rails without the slightest friction. The most mesmerizing moment is the test, when the train accelerates to incredible speeds while remaining completely silent. How are modern musical instruments created? The production of pianos and violins is a combination of high technology and craftsmanship. The wood for the instruments is aged for years before it reaches the factory. Then robots cut the blanks with millimeter precision, which are turned into bodies. But the most amazing part is the tuning. Craftsmen manually adjust each part to ensure the sound is perfect. Particularly impressive is the testing of pianos, when dozens of instruments play simultaneously, creating the effect of a live orchestra. On elite golf courses, the grass always looks perfectly even, and this is thanks to special machines that literally comb it. These devices trim each blade to the exact height and then comb the surface, creating a perfect pattern. The most mesmerizing moment is when several of these machines move in a checkerboard pattern, leaving behind even stripes, like giant artist brushes. We visited the factories of the future, where robots paint on dishes and machines form perfect cheesecakes. And 3D printers print entire publications. These technologies not only simplify production, they turn it into a real show. And who knows what other amazing processes await us in the future. Write down which process impressed you the most.